Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings, a RiseToWar guide. And today I'm going to talk about the recommended builds page, and you find this to the walkthrough page, okay? So we're going to talk about it. Some of you saw my other video, and you're like, yes, we want a video on that. So I'm going to talk about it. We're going to do the guide video on it. So here we go. So anyway, basically where you find it is whatever character you go, basically, go into your character thing, find one of your, characters and click the walkthrough button. The walkthrough button is right there on the left side up there. You see? They click that and you come up to this. This will recommend recommended lineup, recommended skills. I don't always agree with the recommended skills. Actually, some videos on that up here, but we're going to talk about mainly today the recommended builds. Okay, this is the walkthrough stuff. So basically, you can got some stuff here and things like that. You could do that with any character. Let's say you're doing with Sauron. Go through walkthroughs and they'll explain their recommended lineup, all that kind of stuff. But we're going to use Gimli. We're going to go to walkthroughs and we're going to click more, the button more there. And once you're here, this is where we're going to talk about the stuff. So this is the recommended builds page. They have information here and stuff and different combos and sets you can use and groupings. But a lot of times these aren't always like meta. They're kind of like, I think their idea as the designers of the game, it doesn't always feel like they settle into meta. So what we're going to talk about is the other tab on the left side over there, this one, the recommended builds tab. Now the best part about this is the filter. You can choose whatever commander is like your favorite commander and then do a build around that commander. Now again, I love Gimli, but let's just do a random example. Let's say you want to do a build around Gandalf the Grey. All right, so we're going to click Gandalf the Grey and then you're going to say, do you want to, is it your Gandalf the Grey respect, I don't know, 0 to 2? You're a brand new player? You could do this build and it'll show you stuff. Now, really, if you want to get a good look at what the meta build is and what you're aiming for in the game, is you'll probably want to do overall respect level, right? Or +5, right? Respect level +5 or overall respect level is fine as well. And then really you're going to get people upvote these or whatever. And you have a little upload thing. You can actually, in the corner where I am hiding it, you can upload your own builds. You click this and you have to, you upload a recommended build. You can't because my guy's not high enough level yet in the game, but that's not important. So this is basically 2 in your campaign. Okay. So you can see this guy right here, he's got a lot of thumbs up, and I'm going to thumbs it up too, because as you can see here, he put his Gandalf the Grey into this build, and you can click it and then look at it. So he obviously is a very, very high-ranked player. He has a Zenith level character here. He's insane. He's super whale, Kraken mode, okay? I get that. But you can use this knowledge as a free-to-play player even to learn what is the metas. So clearly we have a certain build here. He's got Gandalf the Grey with Bard and Bjorn and Galadriel. Let's look at what he did as Billy. So if I click on this character, you can kind of look at what kind of items he's looking for his Bjorn, right? You can see, okay, he's looking for attack damage, a commander attack, commander defense. He's clearly looking for your commander to do damage, right? Physical damage, attack, right? So clearly these are some of the best ones. And then he's got, of course, Sharp Blade, which gives 24 attack if you have 4 pieces for your entire team, including your commander. So that's what basically formation, I should say, not team, his units and himself. And then he's got a special item. So basically, what is he going for down here, as you can see? Now, this guy is very, very high respect. He's like insane up there. So he's using a lot of many different things, but clearly he's going for a damage build with tanky guardians, right? So you can go through and you can see this guy does physical damage. All right, so that commander does physical damage. Well, what does the other commanders in this group do? Well, Gandalf the Grey, you can see his commander. He's got it all set up to what is, let's see, his commander to have focus. Okay, his commander defense, his units have defense. Okay, those are all good. His commander has focus, defense, and initiative. Okay, and does some damage, right? His commander has focus, defense, and his units have defense. Commander's health. Interesting. There's a pattern here, isn't there? His commander has focus, defense, and initiative. Right? So he's really buffing focus, defense of his commander and units, focus for his commander, and initiative for his commander. And why is that? Because he's using one of the best abilities Gandalf the Grey has, and Gandalf the White for that matter, is the White Council ability. Okay? White Council scales off focus, and if you have high initiative, it will trigger faster than other abilities that are right at the beginning as well in the stages. and it really reduces damage your troops take. So he's going for a build where he does do some damage, right? He's got a damage ability he's using. He's got all his points in white focus, and he's also got some damage in wizard, right? Now he's a very high respect, so he has a lot of points to spend at level 47, and he's respect 15, okay? So again, he's going for basically buffing his troops and helping assist another high damage dealing commander himself that isn't using his troops. He's doing the damage. And then we have Galadriel here, and you can see she's got Mistress of Magic, which is she's doing the damage. She's using this one, which is her doing the damage. And this one, which is restoring HP to her allies based off focus. So, but they all scale on focus. The damage does too, right? So what does she have? Lore of the Arcane increases your focus damage by 12% if you have 4 pieces. Commander has 27 attack. This blade damage commander, this scales, by the way, this top number scales both your physical damage and your magic damage, your focus, okay? Where these ones individually scale either physical or focus down here. Just a little side note for newer players. Again, focus for her, an absurd amount of focus, a great item. A ton of focus for her. You see what you're going. Focus, defense. So again, and damage, right, at the top, and focus. So she's going to be a magic blaster. She's there to blow people up and then give a little support to the units, right? Where Gandalf is doing mostly supporting the units and a little bit of damage himself. And Bjorn is not supporting the units at all. He's just going to go in there and do tons of damage by himself as a commander. And then let's look at the last commander here. What has he got going on? Damage for the commander. 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 Okay, so this is like Bjorning. He's another just high damage by himself. And if you notice, with units, he goes for just having tankier units. None of these units do a lot of damage, right? So Dwarven Guardians don't do a lot of damage. They're there to absorb damage. Same thing with the Guards of the Tower. They do a little bit more damage, but they're still just kind of tanks. So basically, he's just trying to tanky units. They get lots of defenses from Galadriel's heal and Gandalf's white, and then he's having Bjorn and Bard do tons of damage. This is a really nice setup. This is very similar to other setups. Now you can go through here and you can look at other builds that maybe aren't quite as crazy, but still have a lot of likes. For example, this guy. He's got, now this is earlier in the game, the season. So as you can see, he's only level like 25 and he's only got tier 2 units. But you can see he's got a setup here of Gandalf the Grey doing, interestingly enough, he's got the Grey. I would recommend always using White Council since he has Gimli doing damage, Aragorn doing a damage dealer, and Legolas. They're all very high damage dealers and fighters themselves, which makes sense from the story, right? So I would think he would want to go for the White Council to help buff his troops, but that's his choice. I disagree with that choice. But that's kind of stuff. You can go through here and look at things. So that's why looking at the guy who maybe has the crazy level armor, like armor and stuff, he's really invested in the game. He's a Kraken. You can really help see really good ways to use your abilities, right? And things like that. Here's another guy. He's sort of like 50 already. He's got a very high level Aomer. So we can look, how is he using his Aomer? Is he buffing his troops? Not with that one. He's doing damage with him. He's got buffs to his allied troops, and he's doing damage. So he's built his Aomer in a way, if you can notice here, his own attack. He's built him in a way to do damage. All right, so he's mainly, it's all commander damage. So he made his Aomer, and he could technically buff troops, but he made him into a heavy damage dealer himself with Shire Protectors, which have a cool ability. 50% chance damage dealt by 50% if the army includes other units. So you get some buffs to your damage. It's kind of cool. Then he's got a Gimli. Again, I love how he set it up. They did upgrade Lockbearer, which is great and all, but basically I would recommend exactly what he has here. Was the best of the items. And again, lots of commander damage. Sweet. And look at, he did White Council, and I bet you all of these give focus. Focus to the commander. Focus to the commander. These are purple items now. You could, most people free to play could get to this level right here very easily. Focus. And focus. Now he's got 2 initiative or evasion. His forces have a chance to dodge. It's pretty good. Or sorry, damage received is reduced by the first 3 rounds. It's actually really, really powerful. You have 4 of these. 24% is really strong. They really buffed that. I didn't realize how much they buffed that. But again, you kind of get the gist of what's going on here. And you can see, like, here again, for example, Gil-galad is a very commander based on leading. He's a king, right? He's the king of the High Noldor, right? If you notice, he has got command in his main stat and unit attack. That's for his troops, right? Command, that increases the attack and defense of your units. And he has unit attack and then focus for his commander. And again, unit defense and attack and unit attack, 18, and some focus for him and command. And again, he has sharp blade going on, which means his units get 24 more damage and him. So, and you can see here with his abilities, he's got one that does some damage and has a chance to stun. That's why he has 5 points in it. And then he has evasion for his elves and leadership for his elves. If he could use High King, I would recommend it. But the reason I think he's not is because it hits 3 allied formations. And really, he's only caring about his Noldor long shots in his own formation. Because all of his other commanders aren't using really elves. Well, and that's not totally true. These guys are using elves. So I guess it would still help. But I think he's chosen to focus more on his own main squad. But again, you kind of see he's got a commander focused on his troops, 2 commanders focused on damage, and 1 commander focused on support of the troops and his units. So there you go. Again, I'd recommend with Gandalf the Grey. He's a very good support commander. That's what he's there for. White Council is insanely good. Use it. But again, you could totally go through and you could switch to any character and do this with any character and see what the recommended... This person obviously is in our campaign. He's already level 50. He's obviously an Elven commander player. And you can check out what he got there, right? That's what I recommend. Hopefully that helped you out. Have a great, wonderful day on Middle-earth. Thank you to my wonderful Patreons. Thank you, Mr. Reb, for being a Royal Guard. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings. Baruch Hazad, Kuzadim, and you have any questions, leave them down there. I will try to answer them, or even make another video for you if you need it. See you in the next one.